I was 5 years old and living in a city house that relatives rented out to my parents. At that time, I didn't really think of the supernatural or have a learned fear of it. My parents didn't tell me scary stories or knowingly expose me to ghost tales and the like, so everything that happened was both natural and unexpected. When I say natural, what I mean is that my reactions weren't biased, but innate. My room was upstairs on the right, at the very end of the hall next to my baby brother's. At the opposite end was my parents', which had an open balcony overlooking the playroom below. One odd thing was that my room had a series of mirrors that each slid back to reveal a long closet. I remember liking those mirrors at first because I thought that they were so pretty, especially when I placed my miniature Christmas tree there in the winter. I didn't get a weird feeling from my room, but right away I noticed an aura of dread, or for lack of a better word, evil, from my brothers. I've only had such a strong feeling 3 times in my life, this being the first. The closet especially, only accessible from his room, felt wrong. But it would be some time before I went up there and had an inkling as to why. By this age, I was already a lucid dreamer and could feel the distinct difference between dream and reality. One night, after my mom fell asleep with me in my twin bed, I woke up suddenly for no apparent reason. I sat up in bed and rubbed my eyes. The window to my left spread a soft glow through the darkness, and I saw directly in front of me a girl, leaning against the wall. Immediately I went into shock and my chest tightened. Samantha? She looked somewhat like my friend down the street, but why was she in my house? And her hair was longer, body taller. She had shoulder length and black hair, not brown. She wore a dancer's outfit, black leggings and a long shirt. She looked about 8, a little older than me and Samantha. The girl propped one leg, ballerina style, against her knee and leaned forward with a bright smile. "Hello," she seemed to say, waving her hand gently. "Let's play." But I didn't want to play. As nice as she seemed, I was scared. This wasn't right. She stepped towards me. I threw the blanket over my head as I turned. I noticed in the dim light of my mirrors she had no reflection. I launched onto my stomach, burying my face into my pillow. My mom still slept soundly, our bodies touching because of the small size of the bed. "Mom," I tried to say. Nothing came out. I pushed my fingertips against her back and tried again. I was afraid to move or make a noise. "Mom," I croaked out in a whisper. I rocked her with my palms, but she barely moved. My eyes were hot and I knew I was about to cry. I looked up where the blanket engulfed me, and the glow from my window highlighted the bumps and dips, like little hills formed by the fabric's curvature. Then my heart fluttered, like a lamp about to short circuit. Above my head, the shadow of a hand passed over those curves, as if to soothe me, a motherly stroke, but my mother was beside me and she didn't budge. If it had been her hand, I would have known it, felt her move. I pushed the pillow over my face desperately. The next thing I knew, I was waking up in the morning. My mom gone, and the room was flooded with sunlight. I literally passed out from fear. I knew it wasn't a dream, and I rushed out of that room as fast as I could to find my mom and tell her. Little did I know, she already knew about the girl. And so, a slew of weird events began.